Hi, my name is Meng and welcome back to the 12th section for React for Designers course. Now, this is a really important one because everyone wants to know how to charge customers so that we can make some money as designers. We can build a product site selling icons, templates, or plugins, anything that is super valuable to a lot of other people, especially professionals. Typically, setting up a website is a huge pain. You have to have a server, you have to build the experience from scratch oftentimes, and there's a lot of stuff in between that just takes a ton of time to figure it out. But today, we're gonna learn that finally as designers, and we're gonna try to make it super simple for you. So let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is to install a new library called Netlify Lambda. And this is what is going to allow us to use Netlify functions in order to go serverless. Now, why do we need a server? Well, every time that there's a charge that needs to be made, it has to be secure and it has to happen within a server. But using Netlify function, we don't need a server. So this is basically serverless, as they call it. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you now. Let's open the integrated terminal by doing Control-tilde. And here, we're gonna type npm install -g netlify -lambda. And this is gonna take a little bit of time. Once that's done, we need to create a folder at the root. So select any of the files at the root level, such as the Gatsby config, and then click on the icon to create a new folder. We're gonna call it functions. And then inside function, we're gonna select new file. And here, we're gonna call it stripe-charge.js. And just for testing purposes, we're gonna type exports.handler is equal to function, parenthesis, curly brackets, and then console log and working ... So what is a console log? A console log allows you to send a message to the console. So it's not going to appear in front of your user. It's just for you as the developer to see if something is really happening. And that's exactly what we're testing here, to see if our Stripe charge function is being called. Now on top of this, we need to create a new file called netlify.toml. And let's select Gatsby config again, create a new file. So netlify.toml. Inside this file, we're gonna type bracket and then build functions equal single quotes and then /functions, and that's it. And then we save. And from here, we can start using the server. So in the integrated terminal, let's type netlify-lambda serve functions. Enter. It's gonna run a new server for us that's accessible at localhost 9000. Of course, nothing is happening, but if we do /stripe-charge, then make sure to refresh. And every time that you hit this link, you see that there's a message that says working, which is the message that we have right here. So it's been called, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So now that we have our little backend running, we can now go to Stripe Checkout to take care of the front end. And Stripe Checkout is a very simple way to set up the payment experience with very little code. So let's go back and open a new terminal, clicking the plus sign right here. And then we're gonna install a library. So type npm install -s react stripe-checkout. Enter. Once the library is installed, we can go to the header where we have our buy button right here. So we're gonna go to SRC and go to our header component. I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger for now. And then we're going to import the Stripe checkout. So from React Stripe dash checkout. Then we need to bring that to our button right here. So we're going to replace the link . So open bracket Stripe checkout and then enter. We're going to set the amount is equal to, let's say 50 and then 00, and then we're going to set the image for the logo. And for this image, we're going to use an online link. So I'm going to drag and drop this to Cloud App and put that link right here. After that, I'm going to close the tag and close the Stripe checkout tag as well. Put some indentation and then save. Let's test it. Click here and voila, it works. But it's really not doing anything at all. It's just, making sure that there's no error and stuff like that. But after the payment, it's not doing anything. It's not going to give you the money. And that's the problem. So we need to add some more stuff, such as the token. And here we're going to create a function called handle purchase. So we're going to call that function from here. And also we're going to need the Stripe key. So curly bracket and single quote, and we're gonna put the Stripe key. Once you have a Stripe account, you're gonna get that key. Of course, it's gonna give us an error because the handle purchase doesn't exist. So we're going to create that. So handle purchase is equal to, and then we're gonna pass the token information, arrow, and then curly brackets. If you say we still have an error, but it seems that we forgot to add this because this is a stateful component. So this is really important. So save and it should work now. So we're gonna set up some variables that's missing. For example, the const amount, because the token doesn't provide the amount. I'm gonna set it to 50, 0, 0, and then the description as well is equal to my awesome product. And then set up const body object is equal to curly brackets token ID camel case colon token.id comma, and then email colon token.email comma, name colon token.name, and then finally we're gonna go with description. And in this case we don't really need to set the value because description is a description, amount is amount. And we're calling the server using fetch, then single quotes http / localhost column 9000 / stripe - charge, and then right after the single quote, comma, and then curly brackets, enter. Inside that, we're gonna set a method column, single quotes, post in caps, and then comma, we're gonna set the body column, JSON in caps dot stringify, and then parenthesis, body object. Now we're gonna go to the Stripe charge and we're gonna need the official Stripe library. So we're gonna go to the terminal, you can create a new one and type npm install -- save dev camel case and Stripe. Enter. this is going to install the official Stripe library. Once that's installed, we're going to start using the Stripe library. So const Stripe is equal to require parenthesis, single quote, Stripe, another parenthesis right after, single quotes, and then this is where we're going to put the SK test key. Now we're going to remove the console inside the function. And the other thing is we need to put a sync so that when this happens, the server is not going to wait for it. And then also we're going to pass the data called event. So let's start using the data that we're receiving. So const, and then we're going to get the token ID, email, name, description, amount, and all of that data, we're gonna parse that to JSON. So JSON.parse parenthesis event.body. And then we're gonna create a customer. So const customer is equal to await, which means that this has to happen first. We have to create a customer first before running the next function. So await stripe.customers with the S, and then dot create parenthesis, curly brackets, and put description, column, email. After that, put a comma, and then put source, column, token ID, camel case. Finally, put await so that we can really charge. So stripe.charges, and then create a new charge. Parenthesis, curly brackets, and this is where we put the customer. So customer, column, customer.id, comma, amount, comma, name, comma, description, comma, currency, and then we're gonna put USD. So now that everything is done, we can just go to our Stripe account and go to developers, API key, and here we're gonna find the publishable key and the secret key. First, we're gonna get the secret key, put that in Stripe charge right here, save. Get the publishable key and go to the header file and put that where it says Stripe key, and then save. And now we're ready to test. We're gonna go to the website, click on buy, and then put any email that you want. So design code@test.com. We're gonna put 4242 until there is no more space, 1119 123, and then click pay. So now we're gonna test it. We're gonna go to Stripe, go to payments, refresh it, voila, design code@test.com, my awesome product. And that worked. So today we've just learned one of the most complicated things to do, which is payment for any website. And we did that using Stripe. Of course, there are so many more features that you can use with Stripe and also Netlify functions. So we've learned how to set up a serverless function that allows us to send a payment and use Stripe on the front end to take care of the experience. So this concludes the React for Designers course, and I hope you really enjoyed this course because I've put a ton of effort into making this happen. As always, I want to see what kind of awesome products that you're building using the techniques that are taught. I hope to see new stores that open as a designer. I hope to see a lot of great experiments. If you have any comments or suggestions as what you want to learn next, please let me know and I'll make it happen. Thank you so much for following along this far. I'll see you next time.